In this episode, we discuss goals for 2025. I do have some goals for this podcast I would like to discuss. First, for us, is a matter of scheduling and being consistent. Annual Garage Tour Roundup. The next car in the collection is the Pfister Comet S2 Cabrio. The S2 Cabrio is based on the Porsche 911 Cabriolet 992. In my opinion, the S2 Cabrio is one of the best convertibles in GTA Online, along with the Cabanazera and the Sentinel. Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another episode of the Commodity Podcast, a podcast for cars and motorcycle enthusiasts alike. I'm your host, Gunter. And before we start this episode, we would like to wish everyone Happy New Year's from us at Commodity to our viewers. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, had a wonderful New Year's, and also let us know how you guys celebrated your New Year's. As a recap, for us, we have our annual Partners New Year's event. This year, it was held at the Diamond Casino and Resort Penthouse. Overall, it was fun, not to mention an open bar, which I personally had a good time. During this event, what usually takes place is we meet up with our partners, and we usually explain what it is that we have planned for the New Year's. And if they have any feedbacks, any questions or concern, they let us know at the event. But for the most part, it's mainly for us to just get together and celebrate the New Year's together. As far as what I drove that night, I decided to drive the Italia GTO Stinger TT, a car I must admit I do not drive a lot, but when I do, it for sure puts a smile on my face. Now that we've entered 2025, I do have some goals for this podcast I would like to discuss. First, for us, is a matter of scheduling and being consistent. I read a quote that said, "Small discipline repeated with consistency every day leads to great achievement gained slowly over time," by John C. Maxwell. That to me is the best quote for understanding consistency. For us, the best way to stay consistent is by scheduling a day to release our podcast episodes. I've been thinking about releasing episodes every Tuesday or maybe Fridays. So far, I'm leaning towards Tuesdays. But let us know what you guys think. Should we do Tuesdays or should we do Fridays? Leave a comment below. The second goal is to reach 100 subs. Not a major goal or priority, but still something I would be proud to achieve, and that is only possible with your help. So if you like our podcast, be sure to subscribe. Our goal of 100 subs starts as soon as this episode drops. So if you're watching this now, do us a big favor and hit the subscribe button. Our next topic is something new to the channel. It is our introduction to my annual Garage Tour Roundup. Garage Roundup, or Annual Garage Tour Roundup, is a segment that will be annual, of course, as implied by the name. And the purpose is to simply discuss what is in my collection, how much everything costs, and what are the plans for the future. I've gathered a few cars from my collection this past weekend, which are currently downstairs in the garage here at the office. We'll start here, then head over to garage location number 2 to see the remaining collection. To kick things off, we have my Pfister collection. And the first car in this collection is the Pfister Growler. The Growler is my number 2 favorite vehicle from Pfister. Based heavily on the Porsche 718 Cayman, our Growler is based on a 718 Cayman GT4 with the Manti Racing kit. Fun fact, this was a roleplay vehicle given to me by Manti Racing Roleplay IG account. This was chassis number 7. The Growler is priced at $1,627,000 with a trade price of $1,220,250. The Growler has good overall performance and handling, not to mention great customization options. Next, we have my favorite Pfister vehicle, the Comet S2. Not just one, but 2. The Comet S2 is primarily based on the Porsche 911 Carrera 992. This S2 is based on a Porsche 911 GT3 with a burgundy red metallic paint color along with the Super G wheels in straw brown. The common S2 is priced at $1,878,000 with a trade price of $1,408,500. The S2 has good acceleration and top speed, not to mention the engine sound, which sounds similar to the real 911s. Handling is good, but not great. Just like any rear engine, rear wheel drive vehicle, the rear tends to slide around corners if you accelerate quickly during mid-turn. Next is my second common S2. This one is based on the 911 GT3 Touring. I probably daily this car the most out of all my vehicles. This is also my third spec, making this one of the most expensive cars I own. Not because of the cost, but because of how many times I've modified this vehicle. This time we've changed the paint color to Guards Red with red deviated stitching on the interior and the chromatic Z wheels to finish off the look. The next car in the collection is the Pfister Comet S2 Cabrio. The S2 Cabrio is based on the Porsche 911 Cabriolet 992. In my opinion, the S2 Cabrio is one of the best convertibles in GTA Online along with the Cabanazera and the Sentinel. The S2 Cabrio costs $1,797,000 and is available through Legendary Motorsports. This S2 Cabrio spec was inspired by a fellow YouTuber of mine, daily driven Porsche's 992 911 Carrera S. Next is the Comet SR. The Comet SR is based on the 997 911 Porsche GT2 RS. And I actually remember picking up this vehicle back in 2018 and it's been with me ever since. The cost of the Comet SR is $1,145,000 and is still available to purchase through Legendary Motorsports. Back in 2022, we configured the SR in this midnight blue metallic paint matched with the Gaia mesh wheels in stone silver. At this point, it's basically a 997 turbo with BBS wheels. Last in the office garage is the Pfister Astron. The Astron, which was recently featured in our 10 best cars and bikes for snow in GTA Online. If you haven't checked out that episode, I'll leave a link above. The Astron costs $1,580,000 and is available to purchase through Legendary Motorsports. The Astron is primarily based on the Porsche Macan 95B chassis. Ours is based on the Porsche Macan Turbo. Overall, good performance and good handling, and that's primarily due to the all-wheel drive system. That's it for this garage. Let's head over to location number 2 for the rest of the garage tour roundup. We're at location number 2, and this is where the remaining vehicles for annual garage tour roundup are stored. On this floor, we have my Ubermatch collection. First, in this garage, we have the Sentinel Classic Wide Body, which is primarily based on the E30, but just with a wide body kit. I've spec mines in this classic sapphire black metallic with the gravel trap in stone silver. The interior is fully custom with the stock seat keeping things period correct, and also reminds me of retro bucket seats from that time, but also adding flock door panels, chrome annual exhaust, and the Sprint MK2 steering wheels, which looks similar to Momo's steering wheel. Next is the Zion Classic. Based on the first generation E24 BMW M6, the Zion Classic costs $812,000 and is no longer available to purchase as it was removed as a part of the San Andreas Mercenary update. I've spec mine to look identical to the E34 M6, keeping things mostly stock, only adding a exhaust upgrade and the Cosmo MK3 wheels. Overall, fun car to drive. If you already own one, it's a good car to have, and if you don't own one and can get one, it's a good collector's car. Next, we have the Sentinel XS. The Sentinel XS is one of my favorite cars in the collection. It is based on the E92 BMW M3 and costs $60,000. It is also still available to purchase through Southern San Andreas Super Auto. This Sentinel SX is painted in Le Mans blue with the Cheetah R wheels and tire setup in stone silver. similar to BBS's FRR wheels. Inside is basically stock with blue deviated stitching. The next car on the collection is the Ubermax Cypher, not just one, but two, as you can see. The Ubermax Cypher was released during the Los Santos Tuner DLC. I would be lying if I didn't mention my anticipation for this car. The Cypher is based on the F87 BMW M2 and has a price point of $1,550,000 or a trade price of $1,162,500. This Cypher build is based on the F82 BMW M4. It is painted in sapphire black metallic with the forged star wheels in dark steel, in addition to a carbon fiber lip, side skirts, mirror, and a blacked out grille. Next is my Cypher M2 CS Club Sport build, based on the F82 M2 CS Racing Club Sport. I built this car to race it competitively, and in my own opinion, it is super agile. The car is painted to mimic mineral gray metallic with orange accents. For wheels, we also added the forged star wheels, but this time in stone silver, similar to the M4 inspired build. Inside, we added a carbon fiber dash, track ballistic seat, a rally professional steering wheel, and a full roll cage. Alright, that's it for this floor. Let's move to the next floor. On the fifth and final floor, we have my Grotti collection. First is the Grotti Italia GTO Stinger TT. The Stinger TT is based on the Ferrari Roma. It is still available to purchase through Legendary Motorsports for a whopping $2,380,000. Mine's is optioned in the Verde British with a dark brown interior. For wheels, we've added the high five wheels in stone silver. Moving on to our next vehicle, we have the Grotti Italia GTO, one of the fastest vehicles in GTA Online. The Italia GTO is based on the Ferrari 812 Superfast and has a price of $1,965,000. Our Italia GTO is finished in this tannish brown with a stone silver interior, and the finish, we've added the Super Lux wheels in stone silver as well, not to mention tons of carbon fiber bits on the exterior. Next, we have my recently purchased Grotti Turismo Amaggio, also another car featured in our previous podcast episode. The Amaggio is based on the Ferrari F8 Tributo. It was released as a part of the Chop Shop DLC and is currently one of the fastest accelerating cars in GTA Online. The Amaggio costs $2,845,000 and is available through Legendary Motorsports. So far, the only modifications I've made are these high five wheels in stone silver and a light tint. Next, we have the Grotti Carbonizera, an OG of mine and another favorite convertible option. The Carbonizera draws inspiration from the Aston Martin V12 Zagato. However, our Carbonizera is based on a 2016 Ferrari California T, optioned in Nero Daytona with the Gaia mesh wheels in stone silver. Next, we have the Lampadati Michelin GT, based on the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTV. Coming in at $1,225,000, the Michelin GT is a fairly average but fun to drive car with a fair amount of power for a sports classic car. It makes good grip and is perfect for short, twisty circuits without long straights. Ours is spec similar to the real Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTV in the white metallic with bronze Spooner wheels and an exhaust upgrade. Next is the Grotti Turismo Classic. The Turismo Classic is based on the Ferrari F40, which was added as a part of the Cunning Stunt Special Vehicle Circuit DLC, and is still available to purchase through Legendary Motorsports for $705,000. This was also a roleplay vehicle, so the build was based on the real-life F40. Inside, we have red accent interior with white stitching. The Grotti Turismo Classic also has one of the best looking V12 engine and sound. Ours is spec'd in Rosa Corsa. Last in our annual roundup is the Grotti Stinger GT. This car is super special to me because I received it on my birthday as a roleplay car with the serial number 3607 GT. The Stinger GT is based on the Ferrari 250 GTO. Ours is optioned to match the real-life car for role-playing purposes. Spec'd in Rosa Corsa with alloy wire wheels. Inside, we've kept things stock because honestly it's pretty nice. The Stinger GT is still available to purchase through Legendary Motorsports for $875,000. So that's the end of our garage tour roundup. We've covered all 18 vehicles in the collection, and these are the vehicles that I have either driven this year, maintained, rebuild, or restore. If you guys enjoy this podcast, be sure to subscribe and help us get to 100 subs. Until next time, Gunter.